All right, welcome to the warm-up, and we are deep into another week of high school sports action. I got Jeff Power over there. I'm Ward for Soul. We're talking playoffs, Jeff. We are in the heart of it, man. Area round for softball and baseball is just getting started. You ready for some ball and stick playoffs?
I am. Yeah, we got a lot of, this is the spring, man. I'll tell you, once we get into late April and May, it's just week after week of high school championships. It's a lot of good stuff. A lot of playoffs, too, of course, for baseball and softball.
You know, we were talking about this off camera about when we were kids. If you had the weather that we're having right around April and May, that if it starts coming down, then we just got to sit and we don't get to play baseball for a couple, 2-3 days because the field's all jacked up. But now with all this new synthetic turf and all sorts of stuff, you just have to wait like maybe 2 hours after a storm and get back out there, right?
I would be surprised if any playoff game at this point is played on grass. I'll just leave it right there.
There you go. Exactly. So let's talk baseball playoffs as we get into a lineup here. We're talking Houston area playoffs. And Jeff, let's talk about 6A because, as you know, we have defending champions in 6A, especially at Kingwood. Let's talk about 6A playoffs. Who you find as favorites and maybe some key matchups you see.
You know what? I want to start Class 6A, Atascocita. The Eagles had another great regular season. They finished 28-4. You know, they beat Kingwood twice. They won District 23 6A with a 13-1 record. That's back-to-back district titles for the Eagles. Remember, Kingwood won the state title last year. Region 3 is loaded again, of course. A lot of good teams in this region. Atascocita plays at Clear Springs on Thursday night at 7, followed by Game 2 at home. And if necessary, they'll play at Tomball High School. That would be Saturday, I might add.
Number 7, Jackson McKnight.
Jackson McKnight's having a great season, especially at the plate. He signed with Texas State University in San Marcos. Of course, the Eagles won 33 games last year, which resulted in a 6A Division I state final appearance game loss to Waco Midway 6-2. I talked with Atascocita head coach Jeremy O'Neill. You know, he does such a great job with these kids. He's got so many really good players. They've won 6 district titles overall. They qualified for the playoffs in now 19 of the 20 seasons that Atascocita has been around since they opened in, I think, 2006. So, and on top of that, they've had a lot of players to choose from. I mean, the Eagles have had 130 players advance to play college baseball. 10 have been selected in the Major League Draft. You might remember a guy named Daniel Stump. He was first back in 2012. Then Alaric Solare back in 2020. And more modern, Bryce Matthews and Kendall George. Bryce Matthews, that ought to ring a bell, plays for the Astros. Yep. And, of course, George plays for the Dodgers. Those were both first-round picks. That's who they were drafted by. Matthew Linsky also was a 16th-round pick for Arizona. So no doubt about it, they've got the talent. They've got the players. They just need to go one game further this year and win the championship. Kingwood, on the other hand, they're 22-8-1 this year, defending champs, as I mentioned. They did finish second to Atascocita at 12-2 in their district. The Mustangs, of course, that was a 6A D2 run last year. Keep that in mind. Atascocita was D1. Kingwood has won 6 in a row. Their last loss coming to Atascocita. In fact, it was back-to-back losses in late April, early May. Kingwood's captain, we've talked about Graham Charbonneau. He's awesome, but did a little digging. Their best batting averages, by the way, belong to a freshman and 2 sophomores, if you can believe that. So they're young, no doubt about it. Ryder Renfro is the star pitcher for them. He's a UT commit, has 77 strikeouts and 51 innings pitched. Kingwood, definitely one of the favorites, though, in Division II. They play Clear Lake Thursday. They're at home Friday. Game 3, if necessary, will be determined by a coin flip. But no doubt about it, they're young. It's going to be tougher to make a run this year with a less experienced team. But, hey, I believe they can do it. Tomball is the best overall squad in Houston, though. They're 32-0-1. That tie was back in February against Montgomery. Tomball has a backstop by the name of Catcher Hopkins. You knew when I said backstop where I was going with this. I didn't want to have to say catcher twice. But believe me, I don't know anybody else named Catcher. That's pretty cool. And he is going to be our next level athlete of the week. We'll get a chance to see him again this Saturday on CBS Channel 11 at 11 p.m. Hopkins, who also plays shortstop occasionally, is also a switch hitter. He's a 5-tool player. You got to go watch him, man. He's going to Texas A&M. He's going to be a great fit in Aggie land. So make sure you check that out, 11 o'clock Saturday night. Katy, they've been good all year. We talked a lot about the Tigers last week. They are 27-2-1. 15-1 in 19-6A. They were battle tested by Taylor in their own district. I mean, 24-6-1 Taylor finished 2 games behind the Tigers at 13-3. I think both those teams can go a long way out of District 19-6A. Same with Cy Woods. You know, they're 29-2, 14-0, beat Bridgeland twice last week. Really low-scoring games, too. It means they got good pitching, 2-0 and 3-2. Of course, that was District 16-6A. That was a big showdown. Bridgeland can go far as well. I mean, they're 24-8-1, 11-3 in district play. I think Houston Memorial showed us a lot last week. They beat Stratford twice. You know, they are 24-6, 13-1 in district play. They won both of those games 5-0. So they pitched a pitcher
going to Texas too. Right?
Hey man, they pitched a couple of shutouts. Man, that's hard to do, and you know this late in the season, especially. But Stratford, they fell to 10-3 in that District 17-6A. Memorial beat both Cy Woods and Bridgeland, by the way, earlier this year. So Memorial's a team to watch out for. I also like Magnolia West. They beat Klein Cain last week twice. They've got 10 straight wins. They might remember they swept Magnolia before that.
And Tomball quick. They played Tomball close as well.
Oh, they did, yeah. And Clear Creek is another one that's kind of quietly gone under the radar. I was supposed to go see them in action last week and had a rain out. Got switched around. Thanks, Ward. But 22-5, 12-2 in District 24-6A. They've won 8 in a row. They did sweep Clear Springs 6-5 and 2-0. And I'll just mention a couple of the quick teams. Straight Jesuit, Oak Ridge, Cy Ranch. You always got to watch for them. The Woodlands, they got great pitching. Tompkins, and I think Pearland also it can make some noise here in the postseason in 6A.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about Pearland softball in a little bit.
That's right.
They got some good ball and stick down there. Let's talk about 5A. Is there any? I know we don't have as many 5A districts, but maybe talk about some of the teams we should look out for.
Well, let's just say I think Barbers Hill is at the top of the hill, no doubt. They're going to play Friendswood in their opener. That's going to be at Channelview Thursday, Friday, and perhaps Saturday. Friendswood just beat Iowa Colony, by the way, 1-0. That was to take the 25A title, and it was the Mustangs' 6th straight victory and first district title since 2023, first outright title since 22. In other words, Friendswood has been dominant in baseball in recent years, and so has Barbers Hill. So that's going to be interesting watching these two do battle. I think a 5A D1 showdown, one you want to keep an eye out for. Baytown, Sterling, and LaPorte will also be another matchup that I'm going to keep an eye on. That's Class 5A Division 1. Now to Class 5A Division 2, Iowa Colony opens up with Nederland in the playoffs. One thing I'm going to say about Iowa Colony, if Landon Brown's on the mound, look out. The ball's coming in there over 90 miles per hour. He's headed to Mississippi State, who, by the way, plays University of Texas this weekend in Austin. I do feel like the thing about Brown is when he's on the hill, man, you got to get your runs when you can. It's going to be a low-scoring game, most likely. Staying in 5A D2, Brenham has looked really good this year. They are 22-9-1, 11-1 in District 17 5A. They'll play Dayton in the opening round of the playoffs. Of course, Brenham beat out teams like Lake Creek, who will play Porter in the first round of the playoffs. They also beat out College Station, who finished tied with Lake Creek, and they were both just ahead of Montgomery, who all made the playoffs, by the way. And I did get a chance to go out to Randle High School. I thought I might see some baseball there, but we ended up doing a little football over there due to the weather. You know, head football coach Brian Randle, he has got a lot of players coming back, but they don't have their quarterback coming back. I kind of took notice of that. But their spring practice was indoors, Ward, and, helmets in the gym. Have you ever seen that before? I mean, I guess that's a good idea. You don't want to hit your head on the locker or the whatever you call that, on the stucco, or it's not wall, concrete, but some kind of wall. You don't want to do that.
Put your head through the drywall.
And you might as well just go ahead and put me down for Randall versus South Oak Cliff and an instant classic opener in Central Texas.
That's a Prairie View, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, Prairie View A&M. That's right. Landon Williams Callis. He was out, by the way, with bronchitis when I was there, but we all know how great he is. We'll find out if he is our top running back, by the way, at the end of our show as we preview the top 5 running backs in the state of, the greater Houston area, I should say, in Texas. But no doubt about it, Coach Randall and Randall, who, of course, the school is named after his father, are going to head up our Media Day segment.
The Houston area Chevy dealers. Visit your nearest Chevy dealer and test drive our award-winning vehicles. Serving up the best treats and eats in Texas. Stop by DQ and treat yourself before and after the game.
they know what the expectations are because it's Arlington or bust. You know, we just want to get back to the show.
Landon Williams-Callis has always kind of been the bell cow here, but
Absolutely.
Right now you're getting a chance to see what your team looks like, maybe without him, because you have to kind of be prepared in that way. I know that he's just out with bronchitis, but I mean, you know what I mean?
Right.
You're always looking for that next guy, the next running back, the next quarterback, whoever.
Yeah, I mean, the poor kid, he played at 80% in the playoffs this past season, and I mean, Landon's one of those kids that, like I said before, like the good Lord and reached out and touched him and said, hey man, you're going to play football, and he's a great piece. But yes, spring ball is for those younger guys because we've got to know who's next. We got a couple young sophomores that I think are going to be really good. We've got an incoming freshman that he's got a lot of similar characteristics that Landon had. So we're excited about getting him and just trying to just take care of the pieces that we have. You know?
Your tough non-district schedule is going to make you guys, you're going to find out right away what you need to work on, aren't you?
Yeah.
Tell me about your first 3 games and how that's going to make you better.
Well, I mean, we're opening up with SOC. You know, we got to break the tie. It's 1-1, and I mean, SOC is a fantastic group. They're extremely well coached. They're going to be bigger than most people you're going to play. The fact that we moved up in the division, we don't get a chance to meet them at the state game. So me and Coach Todd, we thought it'd be important to break that tie. So we organized that and put that together. That's going to be played on a Thursday night at Prairie View A&M. So we're all really excited about that. Then next game we'll play Westfield, who arguably is one of the best defenses in Houston, in the area, because they got cats everywhere. And in our division, we're really not going to see that kind of speed, you know, in our district. Now, Angleton's going to be tough once we get into district play, but Angleton, Iowa Colony, I got a lot of respect for other teams, but those are the ones that really kind of jump off the paper at you, you know. But playing a Westfield and a SOC, that'll get us prepared.
Man, one of the things that comes with, you know, being good year in and year out is those expectations.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess you wouldn't want it any other way, right?
No, it's funny because I was telling somebody, if this is 2017, I'd give my hand to go 3-4 rounds, you know. But now, the standard's the standard. It's 16 weeks. We plan to play 16 weeks of football. We're down 5 coaches again. Last year we were down 5 coaches. A couple of my guys got head coaching jobs. Guys are getting promoted from position coach to coordinators, as they should, and I'm extremely excited for them. It's a great opportunity, and like I tell my kids, because sometimes the kids, you know, they get the long face, you know, like, oh man, coach is leaving. I say, guys, this is a great opportunity for him and his family. He came here in order to get a promotion, so you know, we all were a part of that, and that's big, man. We take pride in that. I'm talking the last 3 years, we've got 4 head coaches off our staff, and that's a big deal. Now alone the couple of guys that got coordinator jobs. So.
Final thoughts about spring practices. What are you looking for? You said you had like 30 maybe or so practices, or 18 of 30 you're trying to get in. Was that it?
Yeah, you get 30 days to get 18 practices in.
And you know, the fact that you're indoors today, I mean, it kind of goes to show, even in the spring, if it's raining, we're going to adjust. We're going to get some work done, you know.
Oh, yeah, no, we are always working at Randle High School. We're always working. That's the thing. At the bottom of everything we posted, everything's subject to change. Like it used to be 2024. Well, we started in 2020 because COVID threw us a curveball, and any type of communication, email, text, hey, it's 2026, everything's subject to change.
And finally, maybe just a thought on Landon Williams-Callis, just what he means to your team. Having him back now as a senior, he's going to be the leader, obviously, or one of the leaders.
Well, it's his team now. It's his team. There was always his sophomore year, we had Chase Sims. It was Chase's team. Last year, Pac-Man's team. This year, it's Landon's team. It's his team. Landon, man, he's been here before. He's such a great kid, such an old soul. I couldn't be happier for him and his family because all this success couldn't happen to a better group of people. Like they're genuine people, they're good people, hard workers, blue-collar folks, and I mean, you just can't be just happy for him, you know? You're just really, really happy. We hate to see him go. We wish he had another year or two. You know, hate to see him go.
I guess he had a look at LSU, but I mean, are you kind of excited about what his future holds?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Like, and that's the thing that we did here is, by design, we always limited his carries. His freshman year, he would get 10 to 15 carries. Sophomore year, 20, 25 maybe. Well, really 15 to 20. This past season, he got 20 to maybe 30 carries. I don't think that kid had, since he's been here, I don't think he's had 30 carries in a game, honestly, because he's got that talent. And the one thing I want to make sure that we did as a coach is that he has tread on those tires. You know, like when he goes to the next level, there's still plenty of tread on that tire, and that was big for me. We've held him out of games. And he gets mad. Like, Landon likes to play. He loves the game of football, and he's just a great kid to be around, man. We're going to miss him around here.
Is he any closer to narrowing down his finalist choice?
He's down to 15. He's got it down to 15. He keeps that tight to the vest, man. He keeps it real tight to the vest. Relationships, man. Relationships. You're going to have to treat him right. He deserves all of it. He really does.
Final thoughts just on your coaching staff. The fact that you've got some different coaches out here this year.
Yeah. Well, Coach Gaines, our D-line guy, just got a head job. Our offensive line coach, to both of them, one's got an opportunity, he's moving up, and the other one's got a run game coordinator position. So we're down that's 4. And then another one just hit me today and said he's got an opportunity. So we're down about 5-6 coaches, man. It's going to be interesting, but our nucleus is what it is, and like Coach White always says, the standard's the standard. So we're going to get some good coaches in here, and we're going to put good people, good quality human beings in front of these kids, because I believe in family. I believe in family, and I believe in building those relationships, that you truly care about these kids, that you truly look after these kids. Like, if a kid's hurt, if something's wrong with them, we're not going to play a kid. At Randle High School, it's not about winning. Yes, we've been fortunate enough to win a lot of games, but we take care of kids here at Randle High School.
Houston area Chevy dealers. Visit your nearest Chevy dealer and test drive our award-winning vehicles. Parker University. Check out our bachelor's degree in strength and human performance today.
I tell you what, Coach Randle's one of my favorite coaches to talk to. I know you had a good time talking to him as well. And I'm happy to see, you mentioned the sock game, but they're going to play a couple more non-district games that's going to get them toned up for what they hope to be yet another long run to the state final. That's 2 in a row they've been, so they can make it 3 in a row. It's good. Now they know what they have, and they can schedule non-district games that'll challenge them a little bit, because there'll be 4 or 5 easy games in district play before they face some really tough teams. So.
Well, and you thought they leaned on LWC last year. Wait till this season.
Yeah, exactly. Keep them fresh.
Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports is brought to you by Allegro Marinade. Whether you're the family chef, a backyard barbecuer, or a jerky-making genius, maximize flavor and tenderness with Allegro Marinades.
Hey, we got other playoffs going on as well. We got the softball playoffs in the area round. We got a lot of good matchups. We're going to have cameras at a lot of these games. But let's start off by talking about Atascocita again. They won 2 real nail biters to get through their first round series with Deer Park. They had to win the last 2, and they did it. And now they take on Pearland, who's got, I believe they're a 30-win team. So let's see what you think is going to happen in this matchup.
Yeah, Pearland 30-4, Atascocita 25-9. Pearland defeated Fort Bend Travis over at Crawford High School 6-0 last week. That was in game 1 of this best-of-3 game playoff series. I was at that game. Pearland starter Maddie Guzman looked great. She threw a no-hitter, and she got a lot of help from her defense. There was a great play by Dre Smith in left field, nice diving catch. But Guzman recorded 14 strikeouts in that win. And we all know that Pearland can hit the softball. I mean, they've got a great offense. Anderson Lopez had a good game. Layla Bennett cracked a homer. So did Peyton Sugart. Peyton, by the way, is batting over 600. She's headed to Texas State University. Pearland took that series with a 13-2 victory the next night. So the Oilers, they look good, but they're going to have their hands full with Atascocita. Hey, we talked about how 23-6A has been really good all season. You name the sport, District 23-6A is good at it. No doubt.
I haven't checked in on their badminton team, but I'm sure they're pretty nasty.
I'm sure they're good, yes. And, Kingwood's in that district, of course. We've talked about how Atascocita and Kingwood kind of make each other better no matter what sport it is. And Kingwood being the defending champs, you could kind of say iron sharpens iron. I really like this matchup. I think back to a stat you brought up last week. Pearland has produced, over 25, maybe 26 victories in 3 consecutive seasons now?
Yeah. They're doing quite well with this.
That is impressive. I just find this to be a really interesting, maybe even the best second-round matchup in the state when it comes to softball.
It could be. I believe that's our game of the week coming up.
Sounds like it.
Too, so it's going to be a good one. All right, let's push it up north a little bit, because we talked about Tomball baseball. Tomball softball is not too shabby either. They're in a tussle with Willis from 13-6A. Tell me what you think about this matchup.
What you talking about, Willis?
What am I talking about? Howard?
Well, Willis and Tomball both playing great this season. Of course, District 13-6A, might have been won by Grand Oaks, but Willis finished second in that district with a 13-3 record, just like Grand Oaks. So it's kind of like a tie, I guess. Oak Ridge and Conroe also made the postseason, just ahead of New Caney. So all those teams making each other better. Willis 25-9 overall after beating Eisenhower. But you talked about Tomball and how good they've been on both baseball and softball. I mean, 25-3. They were a perfect 16-0 in district play. The only thing that was a little troubling for me last week, they outslugged Waller 9-8 to advance to their matchup with Willis. The only thing that bothers me about that is the pitching. Just because in a 9-8 game, man, it's like, wow, anything can happen, obviously. And, and I'm noticing a trend here, by the way. Almost everybody is playing 3-game series. That seems to be kind of the norm now. People just don't want to take a chance on having an off night and maybe losing a game when your pitcher has an off night. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you run into a hot pitcher and all of a sudden they shut you down that one game and you don't get another chance to get back in there. So, yeah, no, I agree. It seems like there's a lot.
Well, and some teams, I think, depending on the weather, may only want to play one game if they think the weather could be a problem.
I think that's a lot of reason why we're seeing a lot of Wednesday games this week. So you have Fridays, that buffer day, in case it gets rainy, we can still jump over to Saturday. So I think there's a lot of that to the fact that people are playing on Wednesdays as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Barbers Hill, by the way, 32-3, 14-0 in District 19-5A. I like the Hill. I mean, we talk
about 5A, right? We talk about 5A. We talk about Barbers Hill. We talk about Lake Creek. We talk about Melissa, but you need to talk about College Station too. And that's a tough area round matchup for Barbers Hill. Tell me what you think about that one.
Well, we talked about iron sharpening iron. Well, the Hill, they had a tough district. Nederland, PNG, Sterling all made the playoffs, all good teams. College Station, they're 26-8. They're 9-3, and they're in that district with Lake Creek and Montgomery. And so that's a tough district. Now, College Station beat Porter, so I feel like they're primed and ready. Barbers Hill, I mean, they're just good, especially in female sports. I mean, think about what they did in volleyball. Their basketball team reached the state championship, and now here's their softball team, and they're always good. They've probably had the most success out of any of the women's teams over at Barbers Hill over the last 20 or so years. So I just think that there's something over there.
Team too, right?
Yeah, they're really good, really tough. They're so used to being there. They've got so much experience. I mean, it's almost like I feel like, being someone that goes to McCombs Field and sees a lot of these state championship games in Austin every year, I feel like Barbers Hill is there all the time.
They seem to be there a lot, yeah.
No doubt about it. It's going to be a great matchup, though. College Station and taking on a good Barbers Hill team. And you said that game is played over in the Cy-Fair area, right? Yeah,
they're all playing at Cy-Fair. I believe it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or maybe it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So they've already played one game. They play tonight and Friday. They're all 6:30 starts. So that
weather
could be a good matchup.
Yeah, keep it on your radar.
It's going to be fun. You brought up Red McComb Stadium. If you guys are big softball fans, not only do you get to see Jeff Power there for the state title games, but he's going to bring along another icon, right? Neil Beast is going to be down there with you too.
There you go.
A couple Texas high school legends going to be down there covering that event for it. Yeah, it's going to be a fun event, man.
One bit of advice.
Yes.
Bring sunscreen.
You can get burnt, right? That's right. The next warm up after that.
Red bleachers. There's no shade. There's no shade.
Oh, brother. Umbrellas are going to be out and it won't even be raining.
No, you can't bring umbrellas. Don't bring umbrellas.
No. They'll shut you down for that.
Bring your clear bags, too.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, that was fun. We're going to get into the more playoff action next week. We're going to have we'll have boys state golf on the show this week as well, as that took on earlier this week. And we're going to leave you now with the rankings. Instead of doing baseball or softball, you know what? You brought up Brian Randle. You brought up Landon Williams-Callis. Let's start thinking about footballers. We're going to leave you with the top, who we feel is the top 5 running backs in the class of 2027. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and thank you for getting yourself warmed up.